Welcome back, everybody, to the First Touch podcast. I don't know, say, I your boy Calamity, and we're back again with my brother Tato. And today we have a special guest on the podcast. I'm pretty sure, say, want to see him already on the channel, AballSports. Jeff, is my brother. So we're there again. And we're going to do an episode. You see me? Jeff, big up yourself all the time. Thanks for your come out. You see it? Follow
No
Jeff on
problem.
all social media. You see it? AballSports on all platforms. Yeah, man, I will get into it. Remember, say link in the description as well. You see it. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, because it's going to notify you when the video might drop. You see me? So, Tato, over the weekend, how much want to win? 2-0?
Yeah, two love away.
2 love away, 2-0. So, that mean, there what, third in the table here now? Or fourth?
Fourth.
Fourth.
Fourth in the Premier League table. Somebody have a game in hand, no?
Yeah, at Newcastle have
Well,
game
they would no. They would be in fifth now with if
in
Oh,
fifth
yeah,
because
now.
because
Nottingham Forest winning as
Winning
we
okay.
here.
while recording Nottingham
So
Forest winning, yeah.
Nottingham Forest did actually. Nottingham Forest have the game in hand. So Nottingham Forest
Yeah, and they're
currently,
currently in third place,
currently a
leading
win
2
right
nil
now.
against Tottenham, yeah.
All right. So with that putting in a fifth position, how you feel for the rest of the season? You feel like you're gonna make this top four thing, yeah? Although realistically a top five, because the five people are gonna qualify from the Premier League for the Champions League. So realistically, you think you're in the running. Chelsea they're 1 point behind, Aston Villa 1 point behind, So how you think the rest of the season are gonna shape up for you?
Honestly speaking, my goal is still top four, even though say once I make it top five, you still gonna make Champion League. So no say Champion League I'm gonna go, but I still wanna make it the top four for still be safe. For still be safe like for the normal setup. Now going into the rest of the season, bro, like with games that I have left, I do think we can grab all 3 points and or even a point from all of them game here for make it seem in the top five in the Champion League position, I swear.
Remember, you have Aston Villa tomorrow, which
That doesn't really
Yeah,
tomorrow.
matter to I
tomorrow
have
at two
Aston Villa.
o'clock.
Well,
Yeah, I
tomorrow
have
the
Aston
people,
Villa tomorrow at home. I do feel like I'm gonna beat Aston Villa.
yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow the people are gonna sit over there. So
It
when,
doesn't matter. Tomorrow may I
when,
win.
well, man, if Aston Villa beat, Aston Villa jump ahead down, you see
Yeah,
me?
by 2 points.
So
Well, I hope that tomorrow Pep does start Silver, cause as I say, tomorrow after this game as a Pep did say, and me even did want Pep. People have said for him agree, or for we as City fans realize that say, these last few games we have, these are like our finals. I will have to take them serious, cause we need for finishing this top four spot, like really and truly. But think like this for the season of the best way Manchester City can give to the fans them is make sure so we secure the top four spot so we keep on compete for the Champion League, because with the signings them where we probably get or with the Marmoush signing we confirm, I don't think them coming to the team to go play Europa, honestly. So yeah, I do feel like we are gonna finish in the top four.
all
Confident to say.
right. All right, the same question goes for you, Jeff, because you're also in the running as a Chelsea supporter. So, how you really see the rest of the season and shape up for Chelsea?
No confidence actually. No, none. Our next 4 games we have what, Everton, Liverpool. I think United is the fourth
Newcastle,
game, and Newcastle in between that. Newcastle is
Nottingham
ahead of
Forest.
us. Exactly.
I think
The,
Nottingham Forest will be a last game.
our next, we have what, 6 games? We have 7 games. No, 5 games left.
Five, five.
There are 5 games
Including
left, and 4 of my next 5 games are against teams ahead of me or on the same points. Uh,
well, one of them they behind us, strictly for
yeah,
you know, we
one
fight for
that's
the
at
thing.
Everton. Yeah, but
No, and
United,
also
oh,
United.
yeah,
Manchester
talk
United.
United. Oh, sorry. You know, I did have Villa in my head because we did talk about Villa a while ago. Sorry. So yeah, out of the next 5 games, we have 3 games against teams ahead of us. And two went off. Well, one went off fight for nothing. Them escape relegation. What they um, and even them, I'm not confident against just because we seem to we seem to decrease our level of play against the bigger teams, whereas they do the opposite. Them play good against the quote unquote big team them. Um, so I don't even have confidence against United, and that's a shame to say because they're trash.
I have a
Mm.
question for ask. With the comeback we make against Fulham, don't you think you should have a little more faith in your side?
No, because the two things, the two goals that led to us coming back against Fulham are two goals that will probably never happen again. Pedro Neto will probably never take a better touch and strike in his Chelsea career. All right. Maybe not, but I mean, it was a beautiful goal, without a doubt. The play, I think it was a whole minute and a half of passing from
Yeah,
left
yeah.
back, come across the field, down the right side. No coincidence that a certain number 11 was not on the field. So the ball never get hold up and run
All up,
down the
yeah.
wing and get kicked into, well, whether it be kick wide or get go for a corner. So I thought the play between Enzo, Palmer, and Pedro Neto for that goal was good.
It was good.
I
It
think
was good.
Gusto was involved in it as well. And I mean, I don't want to take anything from Tariq George. I think he's a good prospect. I just don't know how many times he will score a goal like that because people aren't talking about how good of a finish it was. It was what, 17, 16 yards out. It was barely at the edge of the box. Put the ball in the corner of the goal. That's not a goal many players score. Outside of, the cream of the crop, elite finishers. So,
And
and
with
overall, I
him,
don't think we played well.
with somebody like Tyreek Judge, it feel like him supposed to with the lack of consistency by the wing players being showed. You feel like him as somebody when he forget more consistent games.
Um, I think I think that's a fair point, but then when you think about when Chelsea started to drop off, and Chelsea's drop off, their downfall started the minute the team changed. For the whole time we were in second and not in the title race, we had a consistent team. And then the second year they start to have some injuries or some people they start miss out. You no longer had the option of your Caicedo, Lavia and Caicedo, Lavia and Enzo Pirin. You never had the option anymore because Lavia got injured again. And then, Cole Palmer form dropped. Madueke came out of the team as much as I don't think he's, anything like extremely special. And there's certain players unrealistic expectations they put on them. Like I don't know why this man who did probably have 5 assists in your entire United career come and get two in the first game. I was thought he was going to be the next coming a Hazard. Um, I just feel like after that things did kind of start to go crazy, and it's not just in the attack. If as a matter of fact, I think the problem started around the back. Having to change a goalkeeper in the middle of the season because of mistakes. Our only consistent player in the starting back four was Kukurea. There was constant change with the two centre backs at one point because Fafana got injured. Um, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Levi Colwill, and then we were almost trying to find a way to get Reece James in the team, which came at Gusto's cost.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Ever since then, he's barely really played a proper game. Neither of them, quite frankly,
Need of them, yeah.
have played well since then. So I don't have any reason to believe, not because of that Fulham performance, because we were, if you guys remember in the reverse fixture, we were beating Fulham and they were lost the game. The same way we beat them is the
Yeah.
same way them beat us before. So I just feel like
Mhm.
at the end of the day for Chelsea, it boils down to defensive slash goalkeeping mistakes and taking our chances, and we're bad at both. We don't take our chances and we don't defend well.
And never question as it relates to Cole Palmer, because if I am correct, it's like 16 games without a goal in all competitions, 10, 11, 10 or 11 games in the Premier League without a goal. What is causing this Cole Palmer drop off?
Yeah, definitely cold at this point, but just I mean, at one point I chalked it down to just being unlucky, but now it just seems like a genuine lack of confidence. There's things. they're moves that you would have seen. Though um I think we talked about it, off camera, sometime back. But we were talking about when players have a certain type of confidence, them the swagger different, the dribbling different, and there's certain things that Cole Farmer would do. Like I don't even think people think about how outrageous a lot of the things that Cole Farmer did before were, where he would have a clear pass to an overlapping player to him left, or a pass in the middle or to the right, and he would just dribble through two defenders and just kick the ball near post, or just
Mm.
kick it across the goal. And he's doing the same things now, but
It's
him
just
just
not
not
work.
him not getting into that space, or the shot going way wide. And one thing you could have guaranteed at one point was Cole Palmer kicking the ball on target. And that's even that now is not a guarantee. So I feel like now it's a lack of confidence. And before at least earlier on in the season, we were putting the ball in the back of the net in different ways. I feel like now with us not putting the ball in the back of the net, him almost have that additional pressure to do it on him own.
Mm.
And it's just not working out. No, that's not an excuse, because I wouldn't give anybody else on any other team that excuse. If you're a world class player or you have world class
World class.
aspirations, then you just have to tough it out. At the end of the day, there are a lot of people who have said, who had, like, I hear people say him ghosting and whatever. Yesterday was just genuinely a bad game for him. I think
Mm.
of the last 16 or whatever games, probably like half of them, he played a decent game. It wasn't 8 out of 10 like he normally is, but he created multiple chances earlier on in this stretch that the man them just never take the chances with. Then you
Mm.
had the lack of a striker who, as bad as I think he is, he have a good connection with the striker. So that's what I'm saying. I think to even touch back on the Tariq George question you asked before, continuity is a big thing in this Chelsea team. And if you try to, put a youngster in the team right now, who are you taking out? Um, and then to what expense? Because him come on and play striker and score the goal on the weekend. So do we start him over Nicholas Jackson?
Mm.
Probably not. And do you think he's good enough to start in the Premier League again, over the wingers that you have? No,
Mm.
I just feel like the team just going through a bad stretch now. And as I've said to you guys before, even when we were in second place, at some point somebody was going to figure out the play style. And I feel like a lot of coaches have figured it out by now.
Me no, first of all, I want to say, but I like, waiting about Cucurella recent performances. I feel like it give him a bit a clap.
No,
And
for sure. I mean, I think he has what, 4 goals. Like him probably like almost a joint top goal scorer in the calendar year or something
yeah,
ridiculous like that. I think him have 4 goals since here, which is ridiculous.
I think him
Ma-
have really improved a lot on
No,
his game.
yeah, for the like when we bought him for, I still don't think the price tag is justified. But for the
It was
player that
like
he
what,
was,
60
when
mil or something like that?
70 million,
Mm.
70
Yeah, that's
for
crazy.
what we bought him for, and the player that he came as, I think no, he's a better player. I do, sorry, I do think one of the things I struggle with, and I've been trying to figure it out, is, and it's kind of the same thing with Madrid, which we'll probably touch on later.
Mm.
I don't understand. Like a part of me gets that with personal changes, your play style has to tweak a bit, but I don't understand why a lot of the things that were working for us earlier on in the year, including Cucurella occupying that space beside Caicedo, I don't understand why that changed.
I
And I
don't feel
feel
like I have
like
the
it
answer
has,
for that.
feel like it, well, you can tell me what you think. I feel like a lot of it have to do with the constant defensive errors behind, is almost like them trying to provide extra cover. But as I always said to Uno, and my reason with Uno, in my opinion, the best defense is offense. And if you're not pressuring a team, then they'll have all the willpower to come at you if them realize that you're not playing in the same way that made you threatening in the first place. But what do you think?
What so the question earlier, Calamity, they asked like, what you think caused the decline of Cole Palmer Just the reason why I'm going 16 game. I feel like we did talk about it from the earlier part of the season. Like they might understand. Say based on points, based on your points wise on a progress a bit more further than last season. Because last season we finished with 63 points and now we already have 57 points with more
57,
games to
yeah.
go. So definitely we'll probably go over that. But my thing is with the buy them wanna make are the same type of players them we want to make them name. And for me, last season, Chelsea did a depend on Cole Palmer. This season, would I still say you know depend on Cole Palmer, but you know have players like Pedro Neto, players like let me name again the one in Arsenal.
Madueke as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like them, you know, probably not for them mind them really want it for be like that. And I feel like I want a cause even Cole
I
Palmer
understand that.
performance.
I understand that.
And I feel
I,
Yeah,
like,
but get
huh?
go
I,
on.
I, I think arguably though, the two players I favor the most in that front four are just the two players that him have the best connection with, and you can tell the difference when they play
Mm-hmm.
as a unit. Like when the three of them playing that right triangle,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell the difference when Madueke, Jackson, and Palmer plays versus
Mm-hmm.
when Jackson and whoever play, Pedro Neto
Pedro Neto or
or
Felix when he was
Nkunku
there, or
and what
Nkunku.
exactly. I do think what would have helped us is if we kept it Felix though. I think that would have helped Cole
That
Farmer
help.
way more.
My
But
because I think whenever Felix and then first him come Chelsea, they come at Chelsea
no,
one
this yeah,
time.
this is him
No, he
second
was on
stint at
loan.
Chelsea.
Second, so my and but that's the next thing to for me like Nkunku out of everybody Nkunku really feel me. We don't expect more from him coming into the Premier League with the type of player we would know him for be, you know. But as I say, I
I
went
think
Cole
just
Palmer
lack of reps and game time and
game time
uh,
Injuries.
injuries.
injuries as well. I feel like people always say it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. But in the context of football,
Football.
even track and field when we talk about it, like when we talk about Shelly start, like Shelly have a good start, you're not catching her. And it's just
Yes.
like this with Nkunku. He
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In
he he
some
he
in
came and he just didn't get a good start
Didn't get
because
a
of the
good start.
injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And that sets you back an incredible amount because now they go and get a Pitney who was dying to make him name him come carry the club on him back for a year, and now you're second fiddle to a little white boy.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Because sometimes, as you say, sometimes the narrative can flip itself, and sometimes it is about how you start. You see me? And
Yeah,
Nkunku just never get that start, kick off him career at Chelsea. But yeah, Jev not confident in making Champions League, while Tato is fairly confident. I don't know
I
why,
think
but
we can. I think we can get. Let me tell you why I think we can get that fifth spot because as bad as we are, I never know what Newcastle I'm going to get.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I
And that,
never
but
know what
just
Newcastle I'm going to
and
get.
that's
And
exactly what
if
I got touch on now because Newcastle lost 4-1 to Aston Villa.
but just to talk about
yeah,
So
that, Jeff. I feel like Newcastle is like when I say them are surely the team, but Newcastle just have them time when them off and when them on.
yeah,
And for
yeah,
remember,
yeah,
me,
yeah.
remember last week them thump up Crystal Palace five
Crystal
nil.
Palace
five.
5-0, yeah.
And them come this
It
week come
was it
get
was on
four.
the same day Madrid lost to Arsenal. It was
Arsenal.
5-0. It was the
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah,
Yeah, so that for me, bro, like my contest, I say like, and when we look back on Newcastle season, I feel like them already accomplished something with them they really hungry for, which is
the
they reach the
trophy.
final and they win the
Yeah.
trophy,
Yeah.
and maybe for them mind them feel like them don't have the players them for go into the Champion League with. Not saying that definitely, but no feel like them have a chance to drop out of the top five where I go make space for City or
But
Chelsea.
but remember they would have experienced that already.
Oh yes, that's
They
true.
would have went to the Champions League. They
And they never
weren't
do that. I
able
think they
to.
come fourth.
They never
Yeah,
have the
they
squad
didn't have
or
the
the
squad
quality.
depth to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I don't think it's a conscious effort to fail. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't know which Newcastle I'm going to get on any given day
Yes.
because it's just that had we had better fixtures, I would have been more confident that Newcastle might drop the points. I think Newcastle might still drop the points. I don't know if we will capitalize on the opportunity in the games that we have.
But with a consistent not a consistent. I feel like with Newcastle going out and experiencing Champions League football, what it was 2 years ago?
You would have been well. So the year you can call it 2 years at this point because it would have been the Champions League before this one, right? So it would
Yeah.
have been the last year before the format change. So that would have been last UCL season.
So with them going out and experiencing that Champions League football, I feel like that put them in a position for no, if they make Champions League football, understand say, all right, this is what we need for the for bolster the squad. This is what we need in terms of quality. So
Mm-hmm.
and with Aston Villa, if Aston Villa make a look a deep look around, not really deep, but they make it out the group stages, something when
I
enough
mean,
people
they
never
could have.
expect them to do. And them
We could have
almost
been
come back
talk.
against PSG.
We could
You see
have
me?
been
So
talking about them in the UCL semi-finals right now had it not
exactly.
been for, in my opinion, questionable changes.
Yeah, so Aston Villa come and I don't call quarterfinals a deep enough run for Aston
Deep
Villa.
enough,
You know
bro.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They
for
make
sure.
they had a good
like,
run. You
I
feel
feel
like
like
the change in the format of the UCL have anything to do with that though?
uh
I don't think so because this year's format only made you play two more games than you normally would in the group stage because you played 8 games this year, whereas in the group stage you play six. And
yeah, but
they didn't go through the playoffs. Did they go through the
just like
playoffs?
I said, with the playoffs though, if you did go through the route of the playoff, you'd have actually play two
Yeah, yeah,
extra
play
games.
4 extra games. So I don't know why I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember if they went through.
Oh, Aston Villa?
Yeah.
No,
No,
Aston Villa.
No, go
they
right,
occupied
them
the
go
last
right too.
spot. They
Yeah,
occupied the
no,
last spot.
them got the
Yeah,
top eight. They're making a top eight.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
make it
So
top eight.
so I mean they played an extra 2 games than they would have normally in any other situation. I don't think that affected Villa this year at all. I think the overall football schedule might have affected them. But I
Yeah,
mean, again, Villa I think they overachieve. If you I probably put that in quotes. But I think Villa could
yes,
have won that game
yes,
easily.
and
I think they could
you
have
know,
easily won that tie.
me that talk about this with a man
The
where right
second
now.
leg. The second leg,
Me
sorry.
that, me that talk about this with a man when that say, me they telling about Unai Emery this, Unai Emery that him not good and rate it. Me I say, no, bro. When you actually look upon Aston Villa this season, Aston Villa has had a good season. Them got into the Champions League and then make it to the quarterfinals. So they manage the Champions League. Them still in the running for top four or top five at this point. So them still in the running for top
Still
in
top
that.
four.
And they're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So overall, with with the level of squad and quality that Aston Villa have, they are doing great
And
as a smaller team.
they've had a bunch of injuries too. It's just that a lot of their injuries weren't as long term as the other teams. I mean, one thing that Unai Emery did that I don't think many people really acknowledged is when Ali Watkins play what 20 minutes across the two legs.
Hmm.
That was a that was a that's a big ball move, you know.
Yeah, I think when you mention it to Calamity, like I feel like at the performance of Rashford is stand out for Aston Villa. I think
Rashford
that there's
was excellent. To say Rashford was excellent in that second leg would almost do him a disservice. He, every single thing that you want from a inverted winger. I don't know. I still don't know where Rashford played that game. I don't know if he did play at the nine or the
He
wing
was
because he was
he was
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah,
interchanging. He was
He was
interchanging a lot.
everywhere. When he was on the left, Tielemans was occupying that nine space. I think
He was,
tactically, before Rashford came off, I think tactically that might have been the best 65 minutes of football, like attacking football, I've seen from a underdog team in a long time.
long while. Yeah,
In a
mm,
long, long time. Because after they gave up, let's just be quite frank. PSG could have killed this tie from the first leg. We're not going to review the Champions League, but just to make the point of what we're saying about the teams with the depth, PSG could have killed the tie from the first leg. Six, probably have 6 love. And then they got the first goal was gift wrap by between Emi Martinez and Pau Torres. The
and
first goal
part.
was gift
Yeah,
wrap. Hakimi goal. And Nuno Mendes quality finish. They put your hands up. It was off of I think a Rashford mistake, funnily enough, where get dispossessed and then
yeah,
them go up the
Rashford.
field and score the goal. But
Yes.
after that, I I was talking to somebody about it the other day. I never thought I'd see the day where I see John McGinn get tired. They had to sub off John McGinn because he could not manage it anymore. Because Villa was running. I
Mm-hmm.
think had he tried that Rashford and Ollie Watkins on the field together thing, they would have probably won that tie. But overall, I feel like Villa,
Yeah,
Villa is even a threat too for the top five. I I do like it though because while the title race is no longer a challenge, from third place to seventh place, any of them can come in the top
yeah,
for the
it's
remaining
And
three
question.
Champions League spots.
that's the
It,
Because
it's
only best thing about this league. This
Nottingham
season.
Forest not short like them not sure to make it either.
They're not sure, yeah, because we do see them drop 2 games back to back in a past week. You know,
Yeah.
and even though today I win against Tottenham, like any team I beat Tottenham except Manchester City this season. You know? So we don't know what can happen
so,
more after this after that game here.
yeah, so on an overall scale, the little top five battle, it's still alive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna look to see how that one they turn out. In other news, down to the lower half of the table, Manchester United losing 1-0 to Wolves. And if me gonna be honest, people, it was something that I expected. Like me did say after the game, after we beat Leon, me
Yeah, yeah.
literally say, watch how we're gonna lose to Wolves. Me literally call it, isn't it?
I
And
mean, the coach almost said it too. Now him said he more or less said like, I can play the fit with them.
yeah, so we had two kids, I would say, in Ari Amas and Frederick. So Frederick so had a very good game for me. Ari
Yeah, I
Amas
think
played
yeah, that,
decent as well.
yeah.
So I'm not gonna fault it. And then we did have like Ericsson at the midfield. You know, Ericsson. Yeah, me feel like Ericsson is a man when nowadays they just put him on. Start Ericsson. You see
Mm-hmm.
me? Lindelof as well. You see me? So some man did up on the field when a normal up on the field. But overall though, I feel like the game pan a whole. I never think we actually deserve to lose. I feel like Wolves scored with their first shot on target, a free kick. I mean, Onana, I'm not expect him to save it, to be honest. I'm not really expect him to save it. So I'm not go fault him for it. But overall, I feel like we never really expect to lose, never really deserve to lose the game. Wolves did get it in the end, though, and shout out to Wolves. But right now, my focus is purely on the Europa League. I just don't want to finish 17. So I need to win like three out of my last 5 games, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it not look good for have the big Premier League table as the Manchester United in a
And we don't
17
think that has
place.
been talking about enough. Like why? We feel like Manchester United finishing. I remember the season when Chelsea did finish 10. Chelsea get even a nickname for that.
No,
Why
12. 12.
12?
No,
So
there was
why?
a year where they come 10th, man.
Yeah, that
I
was
was right
15,
after
16.
we did win. Yeah,
That
right
was
after we
15.
did win the league. It was Hazard. The year Hazard was injured and Willian was the player of the year.
So why Manu is not being talking about? Is it because a
I
two
feel
top
like,
six team they down there, or because
yeah, I
are
feel like Tottenham also being down there take a bit off it as
I
well.
don't think so.
And
No.
I also feel like say people are getting tired of clowning Manchester United. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
yeah, that
that's what
is
I
true.
was going to get to. I think we've gotten to a point now where oh Man United is bad. Okay.
Okay, okay,
yeah, I feel
okay.
like
There's
that
not much to talk about. I'd rather talk about how a man a cash out say Bernardo Silva start every week and him a go trophy list. Like that's something worth talking about.
The reason why we go trophy is because Bernardo Silva starts every week.
It don't matter. It don't
That is the
matter. From
reason.
4P to trophy list to Cosimbo Bernardo Silva is hilarious. That's something that's worth talking. There's no matter how much you throw City, it still can get more embarrassing than what it is. But it's like every year. Let me tell you what I respect about United and their fans. Never fail to break a barrier. Every year they keep breaking barriers. They get worse and worse every year. They get more laughable every year. They become more of a joke every single year. And that's why there's just no point in talking about them. Because what we are going to talk about? Oh, money win 16th. Oh, all right.
All right. Well, I know that can
I
sound
feel
bad
like
still,
no,
but
It's
I feel
something
like
bad, but
no,
Jano,
and the
like,
next thing too, why I feel like you see if we did crash and burn out of the Europa League, that is when I feel like the whole media storm would have go. ape shit crazy, you
Yeah,
see me?
because you have
So
people where say them still not feel like say Man U or Tottenham are gonna win it, you know. Just because I feel like they more have a laugh. And I feel like it depends on the fan base. I feel like Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans are wait for them for crash out or if on lose for make it a big thing. Because I feel like that's
yeah,
how the
yeah.
media work.
So them, I feel like everybody I just wait upon that
Wait for that.
moment
Yeah,
where
because
would
as I
they
say what they are, I say to Kaname, say, bro, you know, say when you end up win the Europa, you finish 16, 17, 13. It's not gonna even bother face because you
when
finish
they
the
in the
trophy.
same competition as you will finish second, you see me?
Second,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I probably just that them away pan to our, you know.
Yeah,
Probably that.
I feel like it's also a bit where about I said people I get tired of it,
Tired,
but
yeah, definitely. Cause not even me, bro. Not even me. Me not no strength feet again.
but
Me neither.
but I do feel like say if we did ever crash out of that Europa League, especially in the way that we almost crash out,
Like
yeah,
what, yo, bro?
You guys gave, I think, what we're saving, narrative wise, you guys probably gave us the best 120 minutes of football.
mm,
Easily the best
Mm-hmm.
120 minutes of football since 2025, but
mm,
arguably a game of the season contender. Just from the
yeah,
perspective of being that bad and being down to love to coming back to
Yeah.
almost losing the game to
You watch
Lacazette.
live about? You watch it live?
Yeah, I started watching probably after like 15 minutes, and then I did go back go watch the first 15 minutes.
Bro, like
At first, whenever I watch it, as a matter of fact, I come out, I switch my clock out for like 5 minutes after the game was at 2 love, and literally as I walk away from the TV, see a message from a virgin name, and just like that,
just
we
like
have
that,
a
the game
game on
finish.
our hands again. Yeah.
It
yeah,
was a beautiful game.
It was a game.
yeah, yeah.
It was a good game. As a neutral or even as a hater, like it
Theater,
was a
yeah,
good
it's a
game.
beautiful game, yeah.
I won't pretend
Overall,
like I'm a neutral though. I'm a hater for sure.
overall, yeah. So the Premier League, I mean, not really too exciting happening at the Premier League other than that top five battle. Over though across in a Syria, we see where the title race over there is now tied up. So Napoli and what 81, 71 points or something like that.
Yeah, 71 for
71
Napoli and
points, yeah,
Inter.
Napoli and Inter
So
and 71
and
points.
71 points. So Inter did lose and Napoli get the win. Me personally happy with that because I want to see Napoli win the league. Even though I like Inter, I really want to see Napoli get this league title for some of the players for Napoli. I've been talk about them, you see me. So Inter lose to Bologna or Salini, you see me, in the 90th minute, and then Napoli did win 1-0 against Monza. It was McTominay. McTominay have a very, very good
Yeah,
season out there.
yeah.
You see me. So hopefully them can get that league title for McTominay, Antonio Conte as well. You see me? Over, I want to think about Antonio Conte as a manager. Like, I know say when him did that at Chelsea, people are say, "Oh, top three manager in the world." Then him they kind of left Chelsea and people never that talk about him again. Him they kind of fall off.
Yeah,
Now him
because I
come
think
back
because
into
they
the
got
fold.
Tottenham.
Yeah, now him come back into the fold. What on a rank Antonio Conte? A top
Let's
10 manager in the world?
In the world currently,
Cor- yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is that yeah. Many
I don't
things
think
there
that.
is
I don't
10.
think that's crazy.
It's not
I don't
crazy.
think
Many
that.
things
I don't think there are 10 better
Ben, yeah, but I don't think there's 10
football
better.
coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. I always talk to people about. You have managers and you have coaches. Conte as a football coach, I think he's up there in terms of he's as like I think personality wise a stubborn man. I think how him interact with the media probably like second to Mourinho alone, but just coaching wise, the man never gone nowhere, barring Tottenham, and I mean what's new. The man never gone nowhere and though completely change how them play and then end up winning again, barring Tottenham.
I think he
And
did change Tottenham for a
and,
while
and, and,
still.
and, and even then he changed Tottenham and just never win. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
said change and win wise, the man got everywhere and do it. But then with
But
Tottenham, he
no,
did manage to change them dynamic.
with Napoli now, him kind of change him play style with Napoli because
Yeah,
him not play that three back system,
the
him a
three.
play a
Yeah, I'm
four
not
back
playing a
at
three
Napoli.
four. Yeah, I'm not playing a 3-4-3 anymore.
Well, I mean like
I think what
that
he
back four was
does.
always good.
I think what he does. Yeah, so that's why I was like he has no. I don't think he had the personnel nor the incentive to make a change to the back four.
Mm-hmm.
Him arguably have. I mean, I don't even know if it's really arguable. Like him have. Well, yeah, you have Dumfries. Arguably, him have like a top three wing back in each position. Him not a reason.
Him have who?
A top three.
Where's him have Dumfries?
No, I'm saying I was going
Oh,
to say him arguably have the best wing backs in the league.
oh,
But then
oh,
I
oh,
remember Dumfries
oh, oh, oh.
over Inter. So I
Over
say
Inter,
like
yeah.
him have a top three wing back in each position in the league.
You rate
Him don't
Dumfries
have
that
not.
highly?
If I think Dumfries is top three
Yeah,
in Italy,
yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
think
might be,
I,
might be.
I think I think I think Dumf. Funnily enough, I think Frimpong's ascension has almost led people to forget the type of player that Denzel Dumfries was
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
because them
Frimpong
play for the
now,
same country.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Frimpong now start over Dumfries. Dumfries
Him
start
not.
over Frimpong.
I
Yeah.
know that, but
Frimpong plays a winger though.
as we spoke about on Rival Talk weeks back, a player starting over a player in the national team for me doesn't suggest anything
So
outside
just
of
anything.
coach's
Yeah, yeah.
preference.
Mm-hmm.
True,
Outside of coach's preference, I don't think that suggests anything.
Yeah,
Because
true,
true.
I
true.
don't think a man could have looked me in my face seriously and tell me that they think that right now Denzel Dumfries is better than Frimpong as a
Mm,
football player.
Mm.
mm,
But I just think at the end of the day, it's about who the other 10 players are, what your
Mm-hmm.
balance is, what your focus is. And Dumfries just fit what Netherlands going for better right now. But the point is like I don't think he had any incentive or much reason. When he become Chelsea, he the fight back was almost a necessity because you had Aspilicueta who could get up and down, but you did not want him running from the back
Back,
to the
yeah.
front to the back.
But he loves
And
the
he was good
Alonso.
at
But he loves
crossing.
the Marco
Marcos
Alonso.
Alonso was a good asset going forward, both
Mm-hmm.
assist wise and goal scoring wise.
And goal scoring, yeah.
And it allowed you to shore up that back line because you still operated as almost a four because you had Kante who
but
could
I
fill the
think
gaps.
the puller that season though was Victor Moses when he literally
Well,
came back
Moses
Victor
when him did
Moses.
start, but Moses was not necessarily playing at right wing back. He was playing at right wing.
In a sense, yeah, I
In
get
a
what you
sense,
say.
yeah, like it was still him and Aspilicueta, and but the luxury of playing Moses, similar to nowadays with Valverde, you play, and obviously just to make it clear, we're not none of the three of us trying to compare Victor Moses to Valverde, but when
No,
you
no.
play a player like Moses, you can drop him back to right wing, drop Aspilicueta at centre back, substitute one of your defenders for a forward
But,
player, like
but
an attacking winger or depending on who Chelsea decide to play. 'Cause there were times where we played Hazard, Pedro, and Willian, and then there were
mm,
times where we played a striker and Hazard and whomever else on the wing. So I feel
yeah,
like it did give you a bit of flexibility with Moses there.
yeah. Overall though, Antonio Conte's Napoli level and points with Ita. Uno have a dog in the fight or uno just a watch.
I don't want to say they come down to the fight.
I want to see go down to a playoff game.
Yeah, the
I just
playoff
I
game, yeah, but I
just
want to come down to that. I want to come
I
down
just
to
don't think it's going to happen because Napoli has a significantly easier fixture list. And I feel like even if I feel like they can afford to slip up where Inter can't. Because if they slip up, Inter still have a greater chance of dropping points. However,
Mm,
if the Inter Milan I watched, 'cause obviously, unfortunately, they didn't put them on at the same time as Madrid. But even rewatching those games, the Inter Milan that played against Bayern Munich, it's hard to see where that Inter Milan will lose or drop any points against any of the Serie A teams,
yeah, because
especially the
honestly,
second leg Inter
honestly,
Milan.
when Inter lost, I was shocked because Inter in a them type of position here, not really drop points. You see me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Someone said
me do-
because that Torah never did up there with the partnership of that Torah. I think that's one
I
good.
think that's a fair argument.
yeah, I can see
That's a
that.
fair argument. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can,
He's the strongest attacker. Um, and he's not slow. The, the
yeah,
the physical and the physical and explosive threat that Turam offers is definitely something that's going to be missed regardless.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And also, him never really start the marker as well. So I can see that. Overall, though, Syria look good. Though over in La Liga, though, Barcelona 4-3 win. Almost took many people I say Barcelona scammer win. I never see that much like that. Oh, you can tell me about it. Yeah.
Anyway, the 4-3 game, to be honest, first of all, the Barcelona people, I watch this Manchester City game because I think it was at the same time. But what we can say is, we kind of upset with the fact that this striker, when name, the striker scored the hat trick.
Iglesias.
Yeah, I kind of have a problem with how the first goal scored. I feel like Chesney should have recovered that ball or he should have a better him reflex should have for the keeper where he is right now, him should have get the ball. Honestly, him should have covered that ball, should have come through the pass should have complete and the first goal score. The second goal, there's a goal to be honest, we never did see them. But what we can say is I'm glad say we'll get the comeback. I will have the 3 points. As well Abba said, we have the games in an hour and it is up to we for win the league. It is ours to lose, and when I think it right for we lose it.
Mm.
Honestly. Not really much to say about the game. Rafinha always have to say not Rafinha, Ferran Torres scored though. And we love that him put up him numbers a man like Calamity, where 8 the man, but I always say the man no good and say he's not what? Yes. So keep on shame the haters them.
Ferran
Ferran.
Torres, Ferran Torres, them a water boy, man. Them only get like a purple patch season, so purple patch one night time, you know? But Barcelona 4-3, a penalty in the last minute of the game. Yes, I mean that put them 73 points. Real Madrid do up on 69. Real Madrid ended up win 1-0 with a bomber from Valverde. Yes, I mean, so Jeff, I don't know. What you think? You think we can come back and get this win?
What the window of the league?
Yeah, the league.
No sir. I think I think I think it would take a miracle for that to happen. To be honest, as you say, 4 point difference. We have a game against them. La Liga uses head to head though. So I
Oh, La
mean,
Liga head to head on that goal difference?
yeah.
Nah.
So I mean, you see the truth. I mean, even if it was goal difference, we cooked. But they see the most incredible. Is this saying like I write down like a bunch of things or quotes and like one of them. I think one of them says something like the most incredible things about miracles is that they happen. So I just say that for the sake of the video. But if you ask me, I truly believe the them can come back. No, I feel like the performance yesterday was yet again an example of everything wrong with Real Madrid for me.
Mm.
From start to finish. I want to reach Madrid, we can talk about it further, but just to answer your question, I
No,
think
Madrid we are top one out.
even if we beat Barcelona, we're going to be behind them by 1 point, and I don't know where they're going to drop points afterwards, and that would also allow me to run under the assumption that we won't drop points, even if we beat them. And we're more likely to drop points than them. So, with that being said, I don't have much faith in the comeback.
Mm. I have a question though, because I did see this after the Champions League game against Arsenal when on a dropout, and more get on the thoughts on this. So, this did you also notice Mbappe leaves PSG, they improve. Joins Real Madrid, they become worse. Is it a fact that Mbappe is making Real Madrid worse?
No,
No, no, no.
no. there's so many things that
Strongly
contribute to Real
disagree with
Madrid
that.
being, yeah, like I could not disagree more actually. You know, like how them have them scale it, where say like one is very, very true, then you have two slightly true, three
So
neutral,
so
and
is
then
it
go up
all
to five, it
is it
off
all
the scale.
is
Yeah, I
it
feel like it
so
off.
so is it all just coincidence?
It's
No,
not a
my
coincidence, there are other factors.
yeah,
I
other
can list
factors,
them
but
for you, you know.
like I must say, like majority of the Madrid fans them and earlier it usually it be confused why they did that blame the coach, but now me have a reason to blame the coach for the downfall. I feel like him play a big part to it.
But
And
I
Tattoo,
want to hear,
you
no, I
tell me
want to hear
say
this.
may I make him finish, but Tattoo, you tell me say Ancelotti is best coach in the world right now.
listen up, listen up. Yes, like Ancelotti is the best coach in the world. That is nothing like. But as much as still, you have time when you get for lay down in your bed, you get for review certain things and run certain things over in your mind and say, wait. And that happened to me like right after the Madrid lost. The last time they lost what year? Something
Arsenal.
happened. I hear that them the one love with them win yesterday, and I think before that, like something happened for me realize something.
Yeah,
And
them they lose before that.
them lose before that. Okay. So for me, like, I blame Angelotti for the way how he must force this team for player or how he must structure the team and how him have players that are in the team where they deserve the chance. Because the fall down when much time. I feel like there is obvious players and we are all for play the team where him don't try. And I feel like Jude Bellingham once again, not Jude Bellingham himself, because Jude Bellingham do him work. I finally come to that say, yo, here what? Really and truly, Jude Bellingham do him work, or him a do where I'm a player where him pay if he get player, or him a just do whatever the coach say. So that's why I say, I'm going to bring it back to really Angelotti. But it is no rocket science to why 2 seasons ago, why Real Madrid could have played Jude Bellingham in the 10 and him get those goals, him get those stats, and Real Madrid win the Champions League and they were successful. Bro, you literally have a Tony Cruz behind him who did structure the game. And no matter how far, no matter how talented Luka Modric is, and no matter how far you want to pull him back in the midfield, he will never be Tony Cruz or see the way how Tony Cruz see the game to make it simpler for whoever they in front of him. Me feel like something that when I think Angela can never try, and as I said, still like I realize a lot of the Real Madrid fans in my ball feed is this youth, the number 10 from Turkey, um
Gullier.
Gullier. I feel like Gullier and
Or Gula, yeah.
Gula. I feel like Gula has been suffering in this team, and it costs one of the reasons why Madrid are fall off so much. For me, bro, like, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I always say, yo, I can't see Jude as a 10. But feel like number 10 brings something special to the game where Jude Bellingham as a 10 he won't bring. As a 8 he will bring it. But as a 10, I feel like there are some special things in the game that number 10 do that it is not Jude Bellingham game. I feel like a Goulier have those magical touch, those magical pass, the magical thing about him, what him could have do, where we just Jude Bellingham could have dead back in an 8 position and just do film work, where play back to back, be the engine, make some 1 or 2 final pass, but be the man there where like him around the engine for the team. As truth as it's me, bro, Kamavinga can be, it's not a better number 8, can be a better midfielder for Jude Bellingham. And that's what I say. And Tuchemeni, he's a good 6, but he can't do what Jude Bellingham do as a 8. So my thing is why you don't try to put Goulier or your boy, what name again?
The,
Rodrigo,
mm,
Rodrigo or Brian Diaz. Make one of them play as the 10. Pull Jude Bellingham in as the 8 and make Chouameni play as the 6. Why don't try something like that already? But I'm gonna feel like that can work. Honestly, because as I said, bro, there are things that a 10 supposed to do in a game where them specially give that. And it's not everybody is a dribbler like a Hazard number 10. But they do have a number 10 like Ozil or as a Kevin De Bruyne where we can find those pass where are the key pick. Well, really and truly, yes, a man like Bellingham him have good pass, but him don't have that type of IQ to see those pass where a number 10 would see. So I feel like everybody else I get it wrong one time I say Jude Bellingham is not a 10. It is true to me he's not a 10, but that being said, that doesn't mean that Miasa is a bad player or he's not a good player. He's supposed to just play the role and get. I feel like that's one of the reasons where I create Madrid downfall for this season.
In what sense though? Because me, you would have say he was the 10 last season,
He
and
was the 10 last season and Tony Cruz was behind him. So all as I said, bro, no matter how good Luka Modric is, him can't make the game simpler for who they in front time like
All
how
right,
Tony Cruz did make it.
all
but
right, hold on.
Tony Cruz is not necessarily that man where I got gear that final pass though.
But
Like
he
Tony,
always find those final plays for those players for score those goals. Him always.
not necessarily. Tony
No, he's
Cruz
not a
is the
final
man
pass
where,
player. He's a happy
yeah, he's not
assist
a,
player.
Yeah,
he's
but
a,
him just dictate the plays them, right?
yeah, dictate
Yeah,
the play.
Exactly. I try to say what he usually do. What him do for that team, they for make them shine and make players like Bellingham look so easy. And because what him do to the game, what him do for the game, Luka Modric can do that for the game. I'm not say Bellingham can make a game look like that for them. But I feel like say yo playing suffering a talent like Gula is what caused them because as we say what a 10
no,
supposed to
I
do.
can't.
Here what,
I
here what.
can't agree with that because they literally won without him in the, they literally won last year with him in the squad playing just as much as he's playing now.
Oh,
Let me tell
Gula.
you. Yeah,
Here
him
what, here
him
what. I agree with the Tony Cruz. I feel like Madrid need a dictator, and them don't necessarily have a dictator.
I no more you finish cause me have nothing to say about it. Say you can go.
Yeah. So Luka Modric is not that man where I go sit deep and dictate the game. He not dictate the game in that sense. You see me? So I feel like Madrid, especially in this Ancelotti system, I feel like them a miss a Tony Cruz. However, I'm not see how that necessarily take away from Jude Bellingham's
Yeah,
game as a
I
number
think
10.
more than anything, what if anything take away from him game is the fact that first of all, why I don't like participating in this Jude Bellingham 10 argument or conversation is last year he was clearly playing as a 10. This year he's not. Majid plays a flat three in the middle.
And
And
that me
one
just have
man
to
just
find out as
happened to
well.
sit. One man will drop in between the depending on the game them play. Sometimes they will play a game where that flat three turn into a flat four and him play more wide than everybody wide to the left. Then you have situations where him play on the left side of the flat three. Like that's what I'm saying. You see, for me, the big thing is are you watching the football match or are you watching football? Which is another reason why I'm not really argue with certain
No, but
like man, hold on up. Because I don't know outside of um Sunday. I don't know if that man has started a game. They literally played the same formation that they played last year, yesterday. For
Yeah.
probably the first time this season. She hasn't been playing in the number 10 role or what. I think the argument is so drawn out. As a matter of fact, I think the Jude Bellingham at 10 thing is probably the least important thing in Real Madrid's downfall this year. First of all, you cannot discount the fact that they have played majority of the year with two midfielders in defense.
But Abal,
Two midfielders.
here why people are gonna say him still a play at 10 though, because he is the most advanced midfielder out of every
even
one
just
of
like I
them.
said to me, he's the
So
most
that's why
advanced.
people
Every
Advanced,
are
time I
gonna,
watch him,
but
him see more
but
advanced than
but
ever other
okay,
midfielder.
but he's more advanced than but that's comparative too. Like he's more a player being more advanced than freaking Chouameni and or Kamavinga is not anything to shout about. They aren't advanced forward playing midfielders. So and you also have to remember just because you're playing a 4-3-3 where somebody is playing in a higher position than another man, don't automatically make it. And at number 10, you can be playing with two sixes and a 10.
So
A
which
two
one you would
sixes
have
and a
said more?
8.
So all right, which one would have said more? You say more a player as the 10 then. No,
I
that for
don't
me Jude
think
Bellingham.
that's the thing though. That's what I'm trying to say.
you
You
know, say
don't
there is
have to
no
have a
10.
10. There's no 10. They have not the constant comparison between Jude this year and Jude last year is just so stupid to me because they're not even playing the same formation. And yes, they're missing Tony Cruz. I'm sick and tired of this magic argument now and this magic conversation. Say it before and I'll say it again. Luka Magic should not be playing more than 20 minutes in this Real Madrid team. He should not be starting.
Exactly. Me
And
feel like him should have done.
for anybody who thinks that he could have replaced what Tony Cruz did is completely delusional.
That
That's
wouldn't make no
one.
sense
Two,
though because two
because
of them
because
playing at the
even
same
when they were
side.
in the same team,
They're not
exactly
doing
they
the
were
same
doing
thing.
two completely different things. What allowed Magic to be as successful as he was his ability to not only run with the ball, but play the game much faster. And while he was never the fastest player on the field, he rarely did get caught out in the way that he gets caught out nowadays. He's completely being outpaced now. Him can't carry the ball in the same way. So him constantly doing the thing where I'm trying to drop in front of the back four and play the ball, but that's just not his game. No, where do Real Madrid's problems start? Real Madrid's problems start where they've played half the season with a right wing slash right midfielder at right back and a center mid at center back. If for most of the games that Real Madrid have dropped points this year, before Asensio did break out to the scene, was because of a mistake on the right side of defense. Constantly. And if it
But that
wasn't there, it was with Mendy. And even as much as I'm not a big fan of him, the most of the mistakes were back posts in like just out of position or a man not running back quick enough or somebody just being too high, like too advanced on the field. That's one. Two, as I've said multiple times before, say it on the live them, Real Madrid's best three midfielders cannot start together with how the team stay right now. Real Madrid can't start Jude Bellingham, Valverde, and Camavinga or Chouameni, whichever one you prefer are the two Frenchmen. They can't start the three of them without them two starting centre backs and them starting right back. They can't afford to do it because their best midfielder just so happens to be their best right back, and that's a problem. Their them third best centre back right now is them best defensive midfielder, and that's a problem. Their best player for that crucial role is the player who gets substituted first in every single game that him start. That is the that's one of like where everybody keep on blaming Ancelotti for Real Madrid's failures. I do agree with it. Hendrick is not playing because of
Just
Hendrick's
just to
Hendrick.
confirm, just to confirm, you thought about Ceballos, right?
Yes, Hendrick's not playing because of Hendrick's failures. Hendrick is not playing because of his immaturity. People constantly forget that Hendrick was getting minutes until him cost them points in La Liga by taking an ill-advised shot, and then the team went on to score after that and would drop points. After that, him did start get benched. People
Yeah, yeah,
also
but
forget that no. People also forget that last year Gula was in a similar situation with Hendrick. He was getting sporadic minutes, but Gula was taking advantage of his minutes. He did have what 6 goals in 4 starts or something like that. I remember at one point people was doing Yamal comparisons at some point in the season last year. I that's not fine. I'm sure when people watch the video, people are gonna remember that there were Yamal comparisons last year. I
with
remember
Gula,
people even yeah, because him did go on a run where him was just scoring goals every time he did start. Right now, Hendrick doesn't play again because of immaturity and and I mean him just young, bro. Like it's not foreign for a young player to come to Real Madrid and just not not break out
eh,
into the squad immediately. Asensio was putting in shifts and he was still getting benched.
exactly.
For a centre mid, is for people to make it sound like it's a whole Ancelotti thing. It's just ridiculous to me. Like I said, I think the root of Real Madrid's problems are around the back. I
whoa,
think they can't defend they can't contain a team. The best player on most teams is at either wing position, and unfortunately for us, our worst defenders are at either wing position. So that's a big problem. Not to
Mm.
mention the fact that 9 times out of 10 this season, on
Would
top
go
of on top of your worst defender, on top
Tottenham
of your
2-1.
worst yeah, man, just see it. On top of your worst defender, you have a midfielder beside that next defender, a midfielder who does not want to play centre back. You go forward now, you have Valverde where every single week him playing in a different position. One week he might play in front of the centre back, then the next week he might play as the advanced eight. The next week, Judah play left mid, so him playing as the central player. And then the front three, the truth is all three of them play best in the same position. One of them can only play one position. And unfortunately, I just saw it go. They don't have the opportunity to say, all right, you play yes or you try over yes or because if you're gonna do that type of rotation, there's just one man who can't move. And Mbappe is not going to go and play on the right because playing in the middle is closer to playing on the left than playing on the right. And they're not going to put Vinny on the. I can't even close my eyes and recall a time I've seen him play on the right side, even just for the sake of a switch. I can think about 100 times where him and Rodrigo occupying the same wing and Mbappe making a run further down on that same left wing. But Real Madrid problems bigger than what people making it seem to be. This whole notion that Goller is going to be our savior is garbage. I love the quality player, lovely kid. He's weak. Him play soft. Him play weak. He does not give you any good reason to consistently start him because in most of the games that him start this year, him don't capitalize on the opportunity. Him don't take the opportunity. Him don't grasp it like him did grasp it last year. Last year, him was making an argument for him to play. It has not been the same this year. I think, of course, I do think coaching has been an issue, and and again, I think he took way too long to insert Ceballos into the team, and for that 2 months period before Ceballos would get injured, Real Madrid was playing their best football of the season. Then him get injured, and it's no coincidence to me that that is literally where we started dropping points. I'm not saying he's the best midfielder in the world. I'm not saying he's the best, close to the best midfielder in the team. But in terms of what we're lacking, he's the
Functionality.
best. He's just the best option. Yesterday, or whenever the game was, it wouldn't be yesterday for the viewers. We play with a midfield diamond of Magic, Chouameni, Ceballos, and Jude. And guess who was first to come off? Not the damn near 40-year-old man who was not playing any football. The man who is dropping into the back four to try and get the ball forward to the midfield, to Jude and to Vinny. And again, our best player or second best player has not played a single good game of football since 2025. Viewers, it is April 21st, almost 5 months into the year, and the man who did ball same never win the Ballon d'Or just 5 months ago and say was going to come back 10 times better has not played a single good game of football sincere for his club. That is the problem. The coaching thing is just lazy analysis to me. To blame it on the crews not being there for Jude's lack of performance is lazy analysis to me because the man them can't defend. They can't defend and they do miss a fair few amount of chances. And the only time that the forward three or the forward four link up is when one man is missing. I'm not saying to drop Vinicius Jr. I'm saying
Come
that
on, you
you have
clearly
built.
saying that. Nobody else.
No,
You
I'm
clearly
saying
saying that.
you built up a certain level. You build up a certain level of temperament with a player. You can't tell him to change after that. So you can't expect when Rodrigo plays on the left side, for argument's sake, and there's a connection, just like what they talked about Cole Palmer, Madueke, and Nicholas Jackson earlier. There's a clear connection between him, Jude, and Mbappe. And it's not even an argument. Like the amount of goals that they've scored when them start together as a three on the left side, or just the passage of play, is definitely better. But you can't expect to now tell a man who has been doing one-on-one for the past 3 years, who has had the opening to pass the ball or shoot and go back inside or go back outside to take on a next defender for the past 3 years, you can't now ask him to play a link-up ball game because that's not what he was doing before. So I feel like again, of course you miss Cruz, you'll never get somebody to duplicate that. But we also lost Casemiro, we lost our best CDM, and we've won the Champions League
Well,
since.
I've been up here
We've
without Casemiro.
no, yeah, but what the point I'm trying to make is players are replaceable. And while I think that a lot of people think that the number 10 was better than the number 8, and I don't agree. Yes, we're missing the number 8, but he's not the reason why, he's not the sole reason why the team is failing this year. They're failing because they can't defend. They can't defend and they cannot get the ball into the attack. And that has a lot to do with Cruz missing, but that have more to do with the fact that we don't have a balanced midfield. We don't have a balanced midfield. When you play Valverde, Jude Bellingham, and Chouameni or Kamavinga, none of those players are getting the ball to give it to your front
So,
three. Like that we always talk about. Everything is down the wing.
all right,
Everything is
so
overloading one side and switching the play to Vasquez on in the right back position.
without Gula, because you say that dismiss Gula,
It's not
but
even a
him.
dismissal thing, Tattoo, because I do think he could be a valuable asset. And I did want to touch on it while you were talking about it, but I never want to cut you. The problem with what you were suggesting, as great as it sounds, if I can defend with 3 midfielders, I sure as hell can defend with 2. And
So,
if I play Jude Bellingham and Valverde for argument's sake in midfield, you know how far back I'm putting myself by playing Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Goulet. You
that's the
played
thing for
four
me.
forwards. You played
That
four forwards.
that's the thing for me. I feel like the quality our Jude Bellingham can give you, because we do agree that he stay a bit more forward than defend. I feel like what him could have give you in the defensive part where you were say we have a problem with. I feel like him have more quality right there than for there's so much high up the pitch most of the time. Don't,
Yeah, but
because
you
I feel like
can't.
if you have a Jude Bellingham and a Valverde and run in your midfield, Jude Bellingham what we know, plus
They're
a
just
Valverde
too.
here. I don't think you
But
want
they're
more
just.
defensive than that.
Yeah, but no, you can't say that though, because at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, and you two are, if you play with those two in midfield, two of your next 4 players, they're not running past the half line. They're not coming further back than the half line.
That's
So no, yeah, defend. Sorry, no, you're defending with 8 players, and and 2 of those 8 players are forwards. So you're really defending with 6. And as much as Rodrigo will run back a little bit and support whoever playing right back, and Goulet will drop deep. They don't have the midfield nor the defensive
if
instincts. You play. What I think what I'm trying to say overall is the front four. The front. If you play a front four like that, if you play a front four like that, it just can't work with how we defend right now. It
what about
can't
your
work with how
boy?
we defend right now.
You feel like your boy that work in the 10?
Oh,
Um
Ceballos,
no, Rodrigo.
I think him can play the 10, yeah, but okay, but again, he plays the 10, but then what do you do out wide? Unless you're going to do something like play Valverde in the hybrid role that he was playing 2 seasons ago, like that right mid, right wing hybrid role, and then
Mm.
play Jude and Chouameni behind Rodrigo. Maybe that will work. But to out and out, go put Gula and Rodrigo and Mbappe and Vinny, the man them already I consider playing with 2 forwards alone because them struggling with 3. There's no way them are gonna go play with 4.
I
Mm.
I
get what
just
you
don't feel like defensively it going to help. And
yeah, I feel
again,
like
our problem is defending right now.
yeah, that's true. I feel
Yeah.
like probably that focus more upon where could I get for create for have more goals, because I always like to outscore a team more. So probably me that think about that same. I feel like say goal here would have bring more creativity up top with a carry more goals. But whenever I really think about the defensive, you know. But as I say, I always rather win a game 6-3 more than for lose for win 1-0.
Mm. Yeah, I understand that
I
point
mean,
of
I
view as well.
understand that, but I mean, I think you stand to concede more than score more with a because as excel as good as that sounds on paper, you have to consider how the players play.
Yeah, true, that's true.
There
Yeah.
are three of them are heavy. 4 of them are heavy dribblers of the ball, and it's one football.
Mm.
And two
Yeah,
of them are like heavier than the other 2. So
definitely. So yeah, it's a conundrum for Real Madrid. Tottenham end up lose 2-1 people, so I don't know 70, 16th in the
70.
league.
and
16th.
and and Newcastle gone up to third place. You know
Yeah.
Newcastle and
Nottingham
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 Forest.
Forest gone
Forest maintain
gone
the live
third
So
place.
third place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just finish it off right there, so here's some people.
For everybody who, well, I know it's a couple people they linked me about it before. For
Mm,
everybody who would have asked for the watch party, I never know say one of viewers they come to the watch party in the past. Everybody who was asking about it. We're definitely going to do it again at the same location at Ruby's this year. Third time, hope for it to be better than it was last year and the year before. It definitely has gotten better over the years. So for everybody who don't know or who did ask me about it, it's still May 31st, Arden Road at Ruby's. Um, you know, Tata should be there and some of the other man should be there. I'd highly encourage them to come out early, like for the past 2 years, especially last year, when the match would start, there were just no seats. So
mm.
I just did that make sure some make people know say that's something what
When
people
I got
always
food
ask
and
me about.
drinks, like
Yeah,
food and
man.
stuff.
Yeah, as I say, it's going to be at Ruby's Ultra Lounge. Food and drinks are good there.
Yeah, definitely, me
As
good
soon
live.
as more information drop, I'll share it with you guys
Share,
and
yeah. Everybody know me, share too.
yeah, man.
All right. People so on the year that is curious on the turnout for the watch party. Is it thanks for all of the support. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, cause it's gonna notify you when the video might drop. You see me? As always, big up Jez for your command. You don't know so the link for him channel, the link for him social media. I got in the description. So please remember to follow the links them. Thanks again for your like support. And we out.